Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about the Aston Martin DB9 or DBS. If the mirrors fold in and you have one mirror that's not working properly, or if you have one that's moving slower than the other, you need to disassemble it and clean it out and re-grease it. Water runs off the windshield and goes into the mirrors and clogs them up, and some of the teeth that operate this are plastic. I believe the V8 and the V12 Vantage are the same mirrors as well. I'm not exactly sure, but you do need to fix this or it will break the teeth. If you catch it in time, you can clean it and just put it back together. If you do have a broken tooth, I believe the parts are the same as a Volvo mirror. There's some models of Volvo. Hopefully some of you sleuths online can figure that out and post some comments about that, but you don't have to buy the $5,000 mirror from the dealer, but the dealer manual doesn't tell you how to do this. So we're going to go step by step how to disassemble this mirror without breaking it. So basically what we're going to do with this cap here is we're going to pull this off, we're going to need 4 of these pry tools, specifically a pointed strong one to initiate. Does not bend a lot. A flat, strong one to push upward on these tabs here. Again, you've got one on that inside piece. That's the first one I pop. Then this one, and then you've got this cap here, which will give you a little bit of resistance. You place them on the windshield. All right. Now, as you can see, that piece slides back. The clips are here, but the piece slides back into this, and this is how it locks in. So what you're going to do is you're going to brace your body against it, press in, and then start to lift up with this pry tool here. So you're going to need a second hand. You're going to lift it with the other hand, kind of jimmy it in here and try to break it free from that tab. Very fragile, so be careful. Just going to try to separate and pull it back as well. Once you have that up, I got my nails in there and slid them around here, and then again pushing backwards toward the back of the car, bracing the mirror with my body. I slid a pry tool in there to hold it up, and I just used like this pry tool just to hold it up. Then I used this pry tool and stuck it in right where the edge, in this case, is carbon meets the paint, but in others that are not carbon, it may be painted as well, but where they meet, where the turning radius or axis is, you're going to push up on that, and then with your other hand, slide another tool in here, and then you're going to go over here to this one here and do the same thing, push up on that, and slide a tool in. And once you have all those tools in, it's still not going to want to go. You're going to have to give it a good little pull up and out. So up like this and out that way. All right, the next thing I want to do is pop the glass off. So in order to do that, you can do it without breaking it. You're going to use the switch to turn the glass all the way here, or you can do it by hand, but probably prefer to do it with the switch. Pull it all the way as far to the outside as you can. And then if you look right in here, there are little clips right here and here. So what you do is try to gently get your fingers or someone with small fingers as far inside as you can. So you're pressing on as much surface as spread out as possible and not pressing hard. And then while you do that, you're going to come back over to this side. And pry that side out. And then after you do that side, you'll pull a little bit of pressure and it'll pop free. And then you may have to do this side as well, and then the whole thing will pop free. Don't pull it all the way out, as it does have the heater and it may have a dimmer on it. But then we're going to come in here and you can see a little black tab there. This will have to be pulled up in order to slide out. So you pull it up away from the black tab that's there to get it to slide out. All right, the next thing we're going to do is pull this little painted cap here off. As you can see, there is a tab here that has to be pulled back. There's also a tab back here behind this wiring loom. You can get a pry tool down very gently, pull that down. Over here, you're going to have another one, that original one that was used to also hold the carving cap on. And then in the front, you're going to have one here and one there. And you're gently just going to press those forward on the painted surfaces. Alright, the next thing you want to do is unplug the wires that run through this thing. So you've got two, you've got one here. Obviously, we're going to push it back through in a moment. The bigger one is this one here that goes to the back of the mirror. And as you can see, it's in there. So what we're going to do is alright, the next thing we want to do is take this part off the mirror. The way we're going to do that is we're going to get the wires clear. Make sure this one is not stuck in this circle hole, because as you can see, this needs to go that way. This one needs to go this way, and this one needs to go this way. But in order to do that, there is a locking tab right here. So. Okay, the next thing for the motor and the cap are going to be these two screws, which will pull this whole assembly off of the rotating motor. Next thing we're going to be taking off is two screws there, and that will slide out, and then the whole motor will be accessible. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to push out these little metal pins. So I use the prot tool and just press on it firmly on either side, and they'll come out. You can slide those apart. We're going to pull that out also by lifting up in there. So now, as you can see, the teeth in there are not very greased. Where the operating range is quite dry. Got basically no grease here, so we're going to clean this all out really well. Don't worry about it. As long as these metal teeth are good and strong, which they appear to be, and there are no broken teeth on this little middle wheel, which there do not appear to be any broken teeth. then this should work just great. All right, so basically now these are all the components of the mirror here on the table. We're going to go ahead and disassemble this motor and show you what makes up all of its components. And don't worry, both of these can be turned around, flipped upside down, does not matter. But you can see no grease on them there. On the gears, pretty gunky grease on these. I believe this will slide right out as well. Bunch of gunk here on the edges. It's hard to see there, but a bunch of gunk. And then back there we have the teeth of the motor, which are all locked in by this band here, which we can take off if you want, and you can probably replace that if we deem this being weak. We do see quite a bit of corrosion here on the contacts. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and clean and grease all these components. I went ahead and took the motor off. It's just as easy as prying this off of the side here where the motor fits into. All these pieces are very easy to do. This drain hole there does need to line up to this tab here. Other than that, it's pretty easy. After doing a little bit of more exploring, I found out that this is more than likely the reason for the difficulty of moving. It's very difficult to move this, and so this will need to be disassembled. It's not just this, it's there may be dirt or debris in the component. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this ring off, which will allow the spring and everything to come up and get free from this. And that way we can clean out that circular motion item there.